Can you imagine 50,000 people living in an area the size of 4 American football fields? To put this in perspective, this represents a density of 3.2 million people per square mile. The current densest city in the world is Manila in the Philippines, with a density of about 120,000 people per square mile. Less than 4% the density of the now demolished Kowloon Walled City. Welcome back to the Nova Chronicles, where today we venture to modern-day Hong Kong, which was the site of Kowloon Walled City until 1994. Let's begin at its origin. During the Song dynasty in the early 1000s, Kowloon Walled City was established as a military outpost to defend against pirates and serve as a coastal lookout. It changed rulers and roles many times in subsequent centuries before being re-established as a military base during the Qing dynasty in the 17th century. It remained as such until the First Opium War between the Qing dynasty and the British, which at its conclusion in 1842 yielded the Treaty of Nanking, which amongst many other provisions ceded Hong Kong to the British for 99 years. The caveat to this was that Kowloon Walled City was excluded from this agreement, which led to it being a Chinese enclave in British Hong Kong. As the years passed, there was less and less governance over Kowloon Walled City. Officially, China owned that land, but it was surrounded by British territory, which made governing it difficult for both countries. Both the Chinese and the British chose the path of least resistance and essentially let Kowloon Walled City govern itself, which led to rapid development and overcrowding that exponentially grew over time. During World War II, the Japanese tore down the walls of Kowloon to construct a runway at a nearby airport, which literally lowered the barriers to entry for refugees. Thousands moved into the city to escape the war, and because both governments chose to avoid governing this territory, the population continued to grow. This mass migration continued in the post-World War II era, and Kowloon Walled City became known as the City of Darkness due to the mass numbers of buildings built upwards and crammed into any available space, which led to little sunlight making its way into most of the city. At its height in 1990, in this 7-acre space, there were 350 buildings and over 10,000 households with 50,000 residents. Though the organization of Kowloon Walled City was chaotic, it still operated in many ways like a regular city. There were groups of civilians that acted as an unofficial ruling body, some schools for children, and many businesses including unlicensed doctors and dentists, manufacturing of golf balls and dolls, and food production that was exported to other regions of China. Of course, due to the lack of regulation, Kowloon Walled City was also a hotbed for illicit activity, including a drug trade surrounding opium, gambling dens run by the triads, and various brothels. Nevertheless, there was a sense of community in the city, with close proximity leading to different families living together, collective efforts to preserve electricity to pump water, and even a small courtyard where construction was barred to allow for sunlight to reach one area of the city. Over time, many attempts were made and repelled to demolish Kowloon Walled City through the late 20th century, until the final residents accepted relocation terms in 1993. Demolition took place between March 1993 and April 1994, and the city was officially memorialized in 1995, with its legacy preserved today by the Kowloon Walled City Park.